This is going to be a story on how I learned to always carry a flashlight. You can see there's 3 different sizes. Mini one, which is good for carry, normal size, and extra large. We even have a bigger one, probably twice the size of this. Could probably light up a whole stadium in the pitch black. But I wanted to tell you a story, what happened to me recently while at work. And I really needed a flashlight and not one in the whole place. I work at this place called Wonderworks. It is known fairly well on the eastern half of the United States. It's an interactive science museum, which in my opinion is not all that great. It's not really that sciencey. Probably about half of the interactive things are actual science. There's some astronaut stuff. There's a 4D motion picture. It's very pricey to get in. My location, after tax, it's about $27 for an adult, about $19 for a child. You can spend all day from open to close. That's about the only perks about it. There's also a thing called a canyon climb. In the area that the location is, it's in a mall. So 3 stories up, they have ropes and stuff where you can climb across, walk across different types of ropes, square blocks, straight blocks. There's just so much about that. I'm not going to get into it too much. But mainly why I needed a flashlight and why you should always carry one. At first I didn't think you need one, but here's why. On a normal night I work with someone else, but this particular night I was alone because he gets 2 days off. I work 7 days a week, 3-4 hours a night, depending on how dirty the place is. So I was working alone. I use a backpack vacuum. By the way, I clean the place after hours. I go in about 10:45 p.m. stay till 2-3 o'clock in the morning. But anyway, I usually start with the backpack vacuum. It takes me about an hour and a half, depending on the day, of course, of how dirty the floors are. And as I was about to do the exterior of the building, which leads inside the mall, just to get around like the caged area, which is within Wonderworks, but just goes out on the outside wall. Anyway, I just happened to start outside the mall where there was still light. After I get to the part, I come outside the door, I turn on the backpack vacuum, electricity goes out. Not in the entire mall, just Wonderworks. They must have been doing some electrician work or something. No one ever told me about it. No one gave me a heads up, nothing. There was nothing I could really do, but because I was out in the mall part already, as it went out, I still had light. However, if I was stuck deep into the actual Wonderworks, which goes probably about 100 yards back, in the pitch black, I would not be able to find my way without knocking into everything. Because there is so much stuff, there are very little open areas without anything in it. I would have not been able to see. There's only one thing I could see from the outside, and that was one of the arcade games that were still on. Must have been on a different circuit, the emergency circuit, I'm assuming. That was the only thing that was on in the whole place. I had to wait at least half hour for my boss to come down with flashlights so I could be able to finish my job. Yes, I had to finish in the dark. I only did trash and bathrooms and then I left. So instead of getting 3 to 4 hours, I only got 2 hours. But anyway, simple things like that. You never know when the power will go out. Even just anywhere. It doesn't have to be a stormy day. It doesn't have to be anything. It could just be the electrician fixing something, or the electrician doing something. So that is why I now have to carry a flashlight everywhere. Because I still work there. I still work at nights. And other than everything in there that runs off of electricity, there's no emergency lights like there were in schools. Since I worked in a school, I know they had emergency circuits that had lights on no matter what. They don't have those. The only other thing other than that one arcade game, which eventually did go out, the exit signs, which were nothing but a distant light. There was no shadow for it or anything. But yeah, always carry a flashlight. Even if it's a big, thick, nasty one. Find a way to carry some sort of light. Doesn't have to be the brightest, doesn't have to be most expensive, doesn't have to be, you know, the best one out there. But when you need an emergency light, any flashlight will do. Because he did give me one similar to this. See how bright this one is? Oh, batteries must be dead. They gave me one similar to this, and it's good for up close, but it's not good for open space, which is what Wonderworks kind of is. It has big open spaces with a lot of stuff mashed into it. So yeah, any flashlight would have been better than no flashlight, and I am just glad I did not get stuck in the rear of the building with no flashlight, not a single light, because there were some sounds that were very questionable, especially since I'm used to all the interactive things being on. They'd be playing music or talking, so I'm used to that, not used to complete quiet. But it was definitely eerie going through there with just a flashlight. Anyway, I want to thank you for watching. Remember, if you don't already, start carrying a flashlight with your EDC. You never know when you're going to need it. It could be in a store, could be even in your own house. I want to thank you for watching, and you have a good Christmas. If I posted up before, not sure. But hope you had a good Christmas, Happy New Year, and see you in my next video. Oh, there's my dog's nose.